Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, 24 inches, great to attach into my cabin cold frame. We're making a plant room greenhouse. So my son's room, I should say his former room, now he's off to college and living on his own in his own apartment, had two closets that had these mirror doors. So you can see the fish tank there reflecting off the mirror. So that's some storage right now. And on this side of the room, the plant room, the curtain that he used on the other side to kind of keep into his little boy cave where he played his video games has become the curtain here for my secondary plant room, kind of room number 2. And so there are the double-decker fish tanks. Lights are off now for the evening. Down below I have my heater that goes off in the middle of the day to warm up this room just a little bit, get up there into the 70s. The fan goes off for 20 minutes every couple of hours to provide some circulation for the plants up there in the top part. And the fish are doing their thing. They're enjoying. I got a couple of koi in the top tank and some goldfish down there. I got a couple of pumpkin seed sunnies. My son and I built this for him to have some fish tanks, and he's kind of outgrown them and let me use them. So I often talk about how these fish tanks provide a little extra humidity for the plant rooms. So now I'm going to go ahead and peek on into the room where the plants actually are. And so I got my Portulacara afras, a couple of Christmas cactuses in there. Got my variegated ficus back there, the forest. So you can see that guy doing all right. I got this grow light from a member of the family. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enclose this into some plastic. So storage up top. And I'm going to take that bench that was cut in half to make a top shelf and a middle shelf. I'm going to take that shelf, because it's a bonsai bench shelf that's been repurposed. I'm going to now make another shelf down there. So down there is just an old shoe rack shelf that I built. I'm going to take that out of there, and I'm going to add another shelf in there for 2 rows of plants. And then I'll have to get some more lights in there. We'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. So first off, I have to make that shelf. So I have to add a couple of 2x4 braces, and then I'll be able to put this guy right up here down there. And then I'll have my 2 shelves that I can encompass in some plastic. And we'll keep storage up there, storage at the bottom, and we'll have some plastic to keep this area of the plant room at a decent humidity rate. So I'm going to go ahead and put my humidity marker here. So let's move this. Put that up in one of the fish tanks for right now. So let's get a measure of the plant room, the secondary plant room. So all these guys are doing pretty well. And right now it's showing 70 degrees, 59% humidity. That's what it is over on the other plant table. Usually hovers in the 70s, and the humidity is around the 60 range. There it just went up to 60. So this little nook and cranny, when I cover it with some plastic, I'm sure we'll get way up there in the humidity range, especially after a watering and a misting. And we can get that area up there, still in the 70s temperature and probably 70s humidity. The tropical plants will probably love that. There it's up to 61 already. In this room with the 2 fish tanks, right there and there, provide a little extra moisture like these great big humongous drip trays. So let's go ahead and do that. Look at that. I'm already up to 65% humidity in here. That's why I'm sure the plants in here are growing much better than the plants on the other shelf. And the reason why I say growing better is because of these Portulacara afras. So let me zoom in right here to the Portulacara afra right here. And I'm glad that it's growing, but if you'll notice, it's really reaching up to that light, isn't it there? You can see those growths there and there and there. And you can see the internodes between those are much bigger than internodes back deeper and lower on the branch. Look at those short little internodes, right? Nice and short. And then you go up to the top portion there, and then look at how long they are. That leggy growth. Let's go to this front one right here. You got the shorter growth, or shorter internodes inside the plant from the summer's growth. But then look at the internodes right there. Especially these taller ones going right towards that light. Look at it going towards that light. It's an okay light, but it's probably not powerful enough to keep these internodes just a little bit shorter. Now these Portulacaria afras are really trying to just grow out real super thick, and we'll end up cutting them back at some point and maybe propagating. And so I'm not so worried about these bigger internodes. And the PAs also tend to bud really, really a lot. They back bud ferociously. So this little bit of leggy growth is not a concern at the moment too much, but I probably will investigate and probably invest in some better lights for up here. And so they don't grow so leggy, but just super thick and powerful. Let's go cut some 2x4s for down there and get that going. I moved the heater out of the way, and I moved the fan and a couple of the buckets. I have a sick bay with one of my goldfish, so that's in the orange bucket. Hopefully the fish is going to do better. We're trying to fix that guy, and so we've got to move some stuff in order to do the drilling. I've got to put at least one support bracket on the back side of this structure, so I have to take all this little stuff out first, all this shelf, all my supplies. Let's do that. I'm going to take off my pots because I don't want them to fall and break. If I get all the pots out of here, it'll also decrease the weight by about 10, 15 pounds. Maybe 20. Now the question is if I can leave the plants up there and not worry about them being damaged or fall off the backside. So we're gonna open up the curtain, move our shelf, and just get a feel for this. Ooh, that was a little tip right there. All right, we can get to the back side. We're in good shape. This shelf, from the bottom of the top shelf to the top of this, is 22 inches. And these are all my relatively similar size to the other trees I have. I don't have anything much bigger than this. So I could go 22. But I think I'm going to go an extra 2 inches just so I can adjust in case I have any bigger trees. So from the bottom of this one, I have to measure 24 inches for that to sit on. And so that means the brace has to go down about 2 inches to compensate for the thickness of the shelf. So 24, we're going to go to 26. I think 26 is a good level. We're just going to measure 26 inches down. And we're going to make our mark, and we're going to just put in our 2 side braces. We're going to measure twice and drill once. So we're going to go ahead and measure this down to 26. Let's do that again. From there to there was 22. We want it to be 24. But we're going to compensate for that, so we need to be 26. 24, that'd be the top of that, so 26. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the board here at 26. And because this is a plant room shelf, I'm not going to be overly concerned that it's perfectly measured, but we're within about that 2-inch range, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to get this first one on. All right. And because I want the shelf to be a little bit straight, we're going to make sure that bubble is in a relatively decent spot. Right there. got some movement there, but here we go, right about there. Two isn't enough, so we're going to go ahead and make sure I have some support. There we go. We have our two side brackets. Now I got to put one in the back here. We'll put it flush against the wall, and then we'll put the front one in. Those went in pretty quick. Let's get that front one on. We're all set. We got the sides all on here. Now we got to see if the shelf is going to fit. But I can't put the shelf on right now because this light is held on by the shelf. So we got to take that off first. My light source for the trees was actually attached to the shelf, so I had to undo that. I'll have to find a way to reattach that. But we're going to go ahead and take this shelf, recycled bonsai shelf, bench, and we're going to see if it fits right in here. Right about there. Looks like we're a little snug. A little bit snug in there. Certainly not going anywhere. Now I have to find a way to hang my light with the shelf that remains. So I'm going to get some of my wire. I have a fair amount of wire laying around. This is how I had it hooked up before. Some recycled wire from one of my trees. We'll have to jerry-rig something together. It's time to get some more wire. And this light has a couple of just little hooks right here. And I can go ahead and slide into the little hook right there. And then wrap around this wood for temporary. Come over here, put this one in here, right there. And I can go ahead and wrap this around for temporary. There we go. Wrap that around there. And there we go. That's sturdier than it was before. Fantastic. So now we've got light that's hanging right there. And when I put a new shelf up here and then I put the tarp around there, it'll be far enough away from any shelf. It's not very hot light anyway. And then we have to figure out light for the bottom. Now I have some of these Parcan type lights, and I also have the two small square Unifun lights. I might order another Unifun and just put my two Unifuns here with maybe one of these guys, giving it some extra light in here. That's my tallest tree. It's not even my tree. It is someone I'm looking after for someone. And that one's a little taller, so the light might not fit under that one. I'll have to keep that out front on my main desk. But there's my tallest tree. So my shorter trees will all fit in here. We'll get some lights up top, and we'll be set to go. So I have to go investigate if I'm going to buy a couple of those Unifuns, or if I'm just going to put my par lights. I think the Unifuns will be better because I'll show you right now here in my other room. You've got that purpley glow, right? But they're small, they're compact, and they'll fit underneath. They're real nice. You'll hardly ever see them. I can shorten that up and make it a little custom made, and I can make sure I have those taking care of these plants right here. And so I can move all these into what I think will be more humidity over here with some decent light. All right, time to do some shopping. Well, I took the light off and move the whole tray over. And look at there. So I got that purple light with all those little trees down there. I can fit a few more small ones in there. I got the boot tray in there to catch the water. We'll move that guy out of there. And I can get one more of those lights, or maybe two more, and have three. Boom, boom, boom. We'll get these ficuses loving life. I'm all set to get the plastic around the plant room shelving system. I took all the plants off again. I went and got myself some plastic sheeting, but now I have to make sure I have enough supports up top to make a shelf up top with some leftover wood. So I've cut all my pieces of wood. We're going to put them in here, and then we're going to go ahead, drill them on in, and then I have some nice support on top, and we can put some boards on top for some shelving. So I'm going to get going and add these top pieces. I got the first board in here, all measured out, ready to go. Back side, now we'll go do the front. There we have it. We got a couple of braces here, a couple in the middle. I can put some wood up on top for the shelving system. My bins are actually wide enough they could just sit on here without any wood, but we'll figure that out later. I just have to reposition the light back on here, get it real nice and snug up here, and try to figure out a new way to fasten it. So I'm going to position this light, instead of in the center, I'm going to put it over on the end here so I can fit a whole nother light back on the left side here. So I'm going to put this right about here. So when I was cleaning out my room the other day, I found these nice hooks right here. So I'm just going to put those in the 2x4s that I just put on there, which is below the shelf line up top. And these little hooks here is where I can attach the copper wire that was holding it up before. So we're going to put a couple of those in, see if I can get it as snug as the other day. One of my big concerns about putting this plastic up in a little bit here and having all that humidity, of course, is the power sources, and we don't want to have too terribly high of water dripping all over the pieces, parts of electricity. So here we go. I have a new wire. I only need about half of what I used last time, so now I have this wire that can go into the recycled bin, and that'll be able to be used for a tree later on. Nice. There we have it. The light's all secured. Got to put some plastic around, and we can put this shelf back in place. So I have enough plastic to go all the way around, I think. So we're going to try to get this centered a little bit, and however it wraps around the front is, I think, the way I'm going to do it. So we got the center right about here. That looks like the thickness. It goes all the way around with about 6 to 12 inches to spare. So now I have to figure out how the door is going to work. If I'm going to have it off to one side, which I think I'd like to have it off in the corner. So I want to make this side hang over just a little bit and then wrap it around. And the other side can come across the back side, and we can have it seal up here in the front corner eventually. Right now I'm just dangling on the ground, so I have room to lift it up a little bit. Right about there. And there we have our first glimpse of the new greenhouse. All right. I'm going to go get my staple gun, and we're going to start putting this in place a little bit. So I'm going to try to go by the crease of the plastic. I'm going to go ahead and put it on right there. Right at the crease up there. So that's secured all the way around the top now. I probably don't have to really secure it anywhere else. Might as well salvage the plastic and not damage it too much. And when I move it back in, I might drag a little plastic and rip it out anyway. So it's secure up top. That's the important part. It's not going to dangle down too much. Let's see if we can move this beast back into place. I have all the plants off this time, so it's a little lighter when I was trying this yesterday. Fits in there real nice and snug. Make sure the plastic is sitting down where it needs to sit. Whoops, there we go, I just ripped the plastic right off there, didn't I? Just plastic, Dave, gotta be careful. So now, as I hoped, this cover will come all the way to the front here, and we can just secure it up here whenever we want to close it up. And I can open it up whenever I want to open it up. There we have it. See if I can get that light going. And we'll put some plants back. Got my light hanging up here. Got my cord. Got these little hooks that I can make sure I have places for my dangly cords to sit. So I got that going. We just got to plug this one in there and see what we got for some power. There we have some light. I think we need some trees back in here. An upcoming show on the Portulacaria afra. Mine is going absolutely berserk. As I mentioned in the video the other day, it's growing a little leggy right now because of this light maybe not being as strong of a light as I'd like. Decisions. Where all the plants can go, where they're getting light, they're not totally offending everybody else. Oh, I bet that's all I'm going to get for right now. So I'm going to try to get another light up here. Might even have one of my cans shine in here. Put that one of those lights, get this all well lit. I'm keeping one of my pond plants alive in a bin of water. Probably not getting enough light there either. Got this Christmas cactus that was given to me. Squeeze that in there on a nice old tray. There, so it's a little dark in this corner. So we're going to have to get those lights coming. Let me plug in the other light for you. Okay, so we have plastic on the back side and the side and this side. And this guy can come up in here and cover up our plants and get a little bit more humidity in there. Now before I'm able to cover it up, maybe get some Velcro on here or just some way I can maybe put a little weight up here to hold it down. It just has to be covered with some weight probably. I have to find a way for these dangly cords down here that you can't see to not be a fire hazard and not be just hanging dangling from these lights. So I got to organize some extension cords, and we'll continue to secure the new plant room. The new plant room greenhouse. There's the dangling cords. Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that, but it's coming along. We got our plants down below. We got our plants up above, a little darker in that back right corner. But we'll get some more lights in the coming days and see if we can not correct that. All right, the next phase, I think we're done for a little bit. We need some more light. Now it's time to do a little bit of shopping. So I need to get some lights that are going to fit into the structure. I'm going to go with my, what I used to have up here, that Unifun that we already have down in there for one of the lights. So I'm going to get another Unifun, and I even experimented with a new brand. So I'll give you the brand names now. We'll show those on the screen for you. So I got two of those guys. They only are about 20 bucks, 25 bucks for these grow lights. And so I'll get a couple of lights ordered. And then I also needed a fan. Had to have a fan to circulate the air once the plastic's all wrapped around there. If I'm getting temps 85 to 90, or humidity rather, 85 to 90%, temps in the mid-70s, close to 80, it's going to be steamy in there. So we're going to have that fan going on every hour or two or so for 10, 15 minutes to keep that air circulating, keep those plants nice and healthy. So we went and did some shopping. As promised, new lights came in the mail today. Was able to secure the other Unifun to the right of the other one. A little bit thinner model this time around. Was able to get all kinds of brackets, the little hook eyes back there to hold all these sides up and hold that one up. And then up top, I got a new thinner model. Different light altogether, but the same size, a little thinner. I can raise that up about another 4 inches if I have to. So again, I've got some brackets back in there that are just holding the wire cables up there, and I can adjust those as needed. So plenty of light on the top, plenty of light on the bottom. We're at 74.5 degrees right now. And the relative humidity is at 89 with the door open. I've had the door closed and it's gotten as high as 90% in there. Don't want it to be 90% all the time. So the only element I'm missing right now is the fan. And I ordered one of those too. Let's go check it out. All right, we got the Axial Series roof fan kit. So it's AC powered. Got the instructions there. And got the real nice guards made of nice little metal there, not plastic. So this is not gonna break anytime soon, which is nice. There we go. So we got our power cord here. I'm gonna be able to put this to a timer. I'm going to be able to have this fan go on periodically throughout the day. So even if I do get up to 90% humidity, we'll get that air circulating. And of course, I'm working from home now, so I can check this quite often. I can put my Govee in there. So we got to put this inside the new plant room greenhouse. So we'll get the fan blowing this way. Ah, nice fan breathing in there. Woo. Okay. Time to put this thing together. So I need to find a wooden bracket on the back or the side of the shelf in there to make sure this can go. This is nice. Again, this is a metal construction. So it is a little heavy, so I have to have a good support system. I might just be able to put it on a shelf if I get a piece of wood that'll just sit on. Otherwise, these come right here. Came with screws. And I can put it right through a piece of wood up on the top portion there and screw it on and we'll be good to go. And I have 4 places to screw it on. I could set it on wood and connect it to wood. This is going to be heavy duty and will not be going anywhere. So it'd be great to attach into my cabin cold frame and also my garage cold frame, but it might be a little small for that. But in here, with this small shelf system, I think that'll circulate the air just fine. So I'm going to take out this plant and put it down below for right now. Got some wires that I'll have to move out of the way possibly, but I envision this right here. So I will get out of your way right about there. I'll put some wood between this 2x4 and that 2x4 and set it up right there. It'll blow a nice fan right through to the trees down here and maybe circulate it down. The shelves have gaps in here. This wood shelf has gaps in here. So hopefully the air will circulate a little bit to the bottom shelf as well. If not, perhaps I'll purchase fan number 2. But we'll get that thing in there next. Got the support bracket up top, and this one's just low enough where I've got these bottom screws that rest right in the back here, just in case it needs any up and down support. But just the 2 bolts, or the two nuts and bolts that are holding it on to here, goes all the way through. We've got the fan protector on this side, but not on the back side. Didn't need it on the back side, I didn't think. And plus, it wouldn't have been enough room. This is too thick of a piece of wood. So we got up there nice and sturdy. We've got the plug in, and let's go ahead and turn it out. We can hear the fish tank hum maybe, but let's see how loud it is. Did you hear that? I can hear it, but I doubt you can. And we've got a nice breeze. Yeah, that's going to keep this air flowing real nice in here. There are a couple different models online of the AC Infinity here, and this was the low one. The reviews online said the bigger one, which has more power, was louder. This one is super quiet. I'm going to put the microphone up to the fan. And back. I can't hear it. I can barely hear it over the fish tank noise. So that's going to create some flow in here, especially the top area. And then we'll see how the bottom areas does. I'll put the the thermostat there. We'll get this guy regulating up here. We'll check it down below, and we'll monitor it. Great little fan. I'll have to double check. I'll put this on in post-production editing. I'll put you how much this the name of it and how much I paid for it. I think it was like 16 bucks. Very, very worth my money. Sitting up here real nice. It's real sturdy, and it's going to be able to keep this cool. Now we just have to get a time regulation on there so it goes off about every hour for about 10-15 minutes throughout the day. So we didn't touch the bottom other than we added that light. There, we can see the subtle movement of those leaves. Right there. Nice. That fan is perfect size, very durable, just a soft little breeze. Got that back one back there moving a little bit. He's right there by the fan. We might want to move these plants around once in a while so that one's not always getting dried out. We can shift these around a little bit. Got the variegated ficus forest. We're at about 60% now, 59% humidity with 73.4 degrees. But again, we'll run this fan, 10-15 minutes per hour, every hour or every other hour, just to keep the air circulating in here. That wraps up another project inside the plant room as we inch closer and closer to December. The plants have all been relatively that low kind of dormancy stage here in the plant room. Able to get a nice greenhouse to increase the humidity even more in here, especially in that closet area. Out here it's still going to be a little bit drier, hovers around that 60% range, but we're going to get 75 to 95 in there periodically, so it's going to be fantastic. So I'm super excited about the results. I love the new fan, the new lights are in position, and I think we're going to have some really good results. I can't wait to see what happens throughout the course of the winter here. So thanks for joining. Do appreciate your time. Make sure you're safe, everybody, and Put a like down there if you liked what you saw. Any questions, comments, bring them in. I love responding, as I always say. And I love to communicate with bonsai enthusiasts. So any questions or thoughts or ideas, bring them on in. I'd love to hear them and share some stuff with you guys. All right, we'll catch you on the next one, everybody. So I'm probably going to cut this thing off right about here this fall. I've taken my knob cutter and I've gotten rid of some of that. So I just put them on the bottom, growing upwards into the bag. We fill it with trees and then we water as we need to.